First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Rotary Club of Belgaum for having taken the initiative to train the youngsters on safe driving. It's a very important part in everybody's life. See, I am Doddanavar, Secretary of Birthplace Education Trust. I am 60 years old, and in my life, in my career of nearly 44 years of driving two-wheelers and four-wheelers, I have clocked more than 10 lakh kilometers driving. See, during this period, I have come across so many practical experiences, of which I would like to narrate three of them, which are really very important, which have really saved my dear and near ones. Basically, I am a firm believer that whatever safety devices incorporated in the vehicle or by the RTO or by the statutory rules and regulations, they should be followed very vigorously. See, the first instance which I would like to narrate to you goes way back, 30 years back, where one of my closest friend, during that time, there was a mandatory, the first time helmet was made compulsory for two-wheeler drivers, and my friend, we were both studying together in the engineering college, and after the final year examinations, my friend, at that time, taking a Java motorcycle, wearing a helmet, he went to Maharashtra. And in Maharashtra that time, helmet was not mandatory for all two-wheeler drivers. So when you are just about to cross the state boundary, he thought of removing the helmet, saying that it is becoming very hot and inconvenient. But I don't know, some sense prevailed in him, and he continued wearing the helmet, and they crossed the border, say 2-3 kilometers inside the Maharashtra boundary. Believe it or not, one vehicle came from the opposite direction and hit him when he was driving the motorcycle, and he was so badly damaged, hit on the head, that the entire helmet was broken into pieces, and he had nearly 10 to 12 stitches on his head. So, and he was in coma for nearly 1 or 2 months. Imagine if he was not wearing an helmet, he would have been dead there. But it's fortunate that he was wearing the helmet, right type of helmet, which ISI marking, and today he is a happily married person with 3 children and a very VIP in life. So my sincere advice to all the students and youngsters is to wear a safety helmet when they are driving two-wheelers. Similar, one more incident which took place similar 30 years back only. At that time there was one rally between London and Sydney, and the motorists who were travelling through these 4 continents, they passed through Belgaum during that period. So one of my friend, actually that time young, blood was very young and boiling, and my friend was parallelly racing along with these international motorists, and in Bagewadi Ghat, and fortunately with him, he was wearing a full covered helmet, and while going on the Bagewadi Ghat, his motorcycle skidded at that high speed. He fell down on the road, and actually he was dragged for nearly 15-20 feet with the helmet on, and you believe it or not, it was such a horrible accident, and his chin, he had a helmet covered on his chin also. That helmet scraped the road at the chin, where the chin was. It totally got broken, and he got injured to the chin. And imagine at that speed and that thing, if you are not wearing an helmet, today you would have been no more. And it's 30 years since. He's a very close friend of mine and is still surviving. One more important thing which I would like to stress upon: the wearing of seat belts in the while driving a car. It is one of the very essential things for any four-wheeler driver to see that he fastens his seat belts properly while he is driving. See, I would like to quote one recent incident which happened. I myself and my driver and my wife, we were traveling from Bangalore recently, and I had happened to attend the Rotary Club drive-wise program, and in that also there a lot of stress was there on wearing of seat belts. So that was there in my mind. And when we were returning back, I insisted with my driver and myself, we both were wearing seat belts, and we were traveling at nearly 120 km speed. And at one particular spot, at a place called Bankapur near Hubli, there were speed breakers. And on that day, it was a rainy day, a slight drizzling was there, and I asked my driver to reduce the speed. I kept on telling him to reduce the speed because the road surface is wet and will not have a proper grip on the road. So in spite of I telling him repeatedly, see, he reduced the speed from 120 kilometers to 80 kilometers. But unfortunately at Bankapur, the person who was traveling in front of us, he applied brake because he wanted to avoid the speed breaker. He stopped. And my driver also tried to stop, but unfortunately he could not stop because he applied the full brake, and the vehicle skidded for about 30-40 feet and it didn't stop. It went and hit the car which was in front. And believe it or not, me and my driver, we didn't have any injuries.